Well, here we are. This is our drop-off zone and my office. So we just have we're moving. So I'm in the process of moving, taking down photos. But we have our coat rack and shoes here, and my desk on the other side of the office, and brick floor. And this space actually functions as an airlock for the house. So in the wintertime we keep this door closed because this space can get cool when the exterior door opens. We're walking out of the drop-off zone and airlock into the living room. And so here's the living room. Back here is the tire wall of the house, all mud plastered. And the ceiling is made out of logs called vigas and rough sawn decking in a herringbone pattern. We have just our entertainment system, all run off of solar power, of course. We're off grid here. All doors and cabinets were made by me, and small backup wood stove for the night set. For if we get 2 or 3 days of cloudy weather in the winter, it's nice to have a little backup heat. Although the house would never freeze, it never gets below 60 or 62. So associated with the living room area is the dining room. This is a small little alcove to the open space of the house. And the house is pretty simple. From this standpoint, you can see the kitchen down below, and there's a loft up above where we sleep, and there's a small room down below, which is one of my son's rooms. And so the house was constructed little by little over time. When I started the house, I lived in the living room for 2 years while I built the rest of this space. So I lived in this space for 2 years, and I had a straw bale wall up basically where this door is, and a straw bale wall up essentially where this area is, and I added on to the house this way. And it was a great day when I was able to knock the straw bale wall down and occupy the whole house. Well, down here actually is the most comfortable space of the house in the summer, because this is surrounded by thermal mass. It stays nice and cool down here. All the cool air kind of descends down here, and so this is a great hangout space for us. It's where my kids' toys are, and our fish and our hermit crabs, and just beyond this wall is a storage closet, which is not exciting, but it exists. So this is our loft and also our bedroom. We sleep there, and the kids we're all still cozy in one big room, and they're against a tire wall, rammed earth tire wall, and there's a earth berm behind there. And I built the closets along the north side of the house, and that's all earth bermed on the outside, tire wall and earth berm on the outside. But it's good design principle to keep closets on the north side. And then we have the operable skylight here, which you can close. It's weighted with a rocker arm, and so it doesn't rely on any electricity. But when it's closed, when it rains or in the winter, and it's all sealed. But in the summer, you open it up to exhaust the hot air out of the house. And there's another one of these. That window there is an operable vent. One of my plans for the future was to eventually make this into an operable window. So anyway, so it's a wood framed loft. We didn't need a mass floor up here. We're surrounded by thermal mass up here. And that's kind of it. We're in the process of moving, so things are a little disheveled. So here's all the south glazing, and the sunlight comes in, and in the winter it penetrates deep, and it'll heat up this concrete countertop. It'll heat up this is a can wall that's plastered. Ideally this would be plastered dark or painted a dark color to absorb more light, but we found we don't really need the additional heat gain. This wall, which creates and defines this small little dining area, is a can wall. It's cantilevered a little bit, which means it sticks out a little bit with a concrete slab, and the can wall is built upon that. Here's the gray water planter, and this is all masonry can wall, smooth plastered, and the water that feeds the planter comes from the bathroom lavatory sink and the shower. And these are all banana trees in various states of health. I haven't trimmed them in a while. And so we have the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink runs outside to a septic, which has a lined leach field to contain water, so we get more vegetation growth. And so a small little kitchen with some Mexican tiles and reused. These were windows from a house that replaced their single pane windows with double pane a number of years ago, and I just salvaged them and used them. So if we walk through, we can also see the house is passively heated and cooled, and this is one of the windows to let cool air in, and there's a skylight up in the loft to let all the hot air out, so it exhausts itself. Air comes through the house and travels to get air exchange and cooling. And then we're in kind of a transitional time where it's later summer, sunlight is starting to come in deeper to the house, so we have these shades which are operable, which I've constructed just with some pulleys and a rod and some rope and some runners. They work pretty effective. Especially in the winter, it can get really hot in here when the sun is really beaming in here. And I just used some pavers from our local lumber yard, and I stained them and sealed them and set them in this framed closet, this little broom closet we have here, and just to achieve a little mass. And then behind that is the tire wall and masonry wall down below, and the floor all acts as mass to collect heat or keep the house cool. And then all lighting, most lighting is LED bulbs for energy efficiency, 12-volt LED bulbs. And then as we travel through the house, we come to this end of the house, which contains most of the utilities in the bathroom. And so we have small bathroom. We have, this is my children's tub. We're on water harvesting, so we don't fill up this large tub that I built ever. In the desert, we only get 7 to 9 inches of precipitation a year. But this is I built this tub, and this is all plastered can wall work, and cement plaster in the tub and shower area. Well, that toilet can flush with either gray water from the planter or fresh water. We have it on fresh water right now because our cisterns are overflowing, and but we use gray water until the gray water is depleted, and then for about a month we'll use fresh water, and then I'll switch it back. So there's 2 supply lines for it, and there's a pump and a filter at the end of the planter to pull the gray water out of the planter well, which is about 6 feet deep. So our gray water planter probably holds about 1,200 gallons of gray water. This is basically the utility closet for water and solar power. So we have a pretty simple solar system in here with there's water for the batteries. And I do that about once a month, distilled water, and the batteries are up here. They stay warm. They're vented to the outside, but so there's deep cycle batteries up there. The house system is split into AC and DC. All the lighting and the water pump is DC, and all the outlets are AC. Sine wave inverter and a charge controller, and all the distribution centers, and the main disconnect right there. So that's the solar system. Pretty simple. There are a lot fancier ones. And then this is our water system. This is internet that has nothing to do with my house system. It's just it's a relay for the internet company. I'm allowing them to use, because we're in a remote location, I'm allowing them to, they have an antenna on my house to broadcast for other customers. But basically this is the cistern inlet right here. Goes to a pre-filter, which is covered with a sock so I don't get any algae growth. It's a small little 12-volt pump to another sediment filter. This goes to the solar hot water heater that direction, drinking water filter, and then the pipes distribute to the sinks in the shower and the toilet, and a small pressure tank right here. Very simple. In this area I have concrete, and I've stained the floors with basically a plant fertilizer. It's called copperas. It's the basic ingredient is ferrous sulfate, which actually stains concrete. There's a warning on the package to make sure if you're using it around concrete driveways not to get it on your driveways because it stains concrete. But it's the same ingredient as in commercial stains that you can buy for 20 times the cost. So that's what I've used here. And then if we just go through this door, this is the end of the house. It's just kind of the back door entry, and then we just have a washing machine. And it's a Staber, which is made in America. It was designed for rural applications, easy to service, very simple electronics, and low water usage. It's actually although it doesn't look like a front loader, it is a front loader. That's, you load from the top. It's got a barrel that spins sideways inside, so it uses about half the amount of water as a conventional washing machine. Although conventional washing machines are getting pretty darn efficient. Well, thanks for watching this. I really felt like I'd like to show Off-Grid Build viewers the house that I've worked on and lived in for the last 20 years. This is an example of a very custom home. There's a lot more simple homes here, but I took a lot of liberties in this type of build, this Earthship that I've built. Broke some of the rules, but happy I did, because I've learned a lot what rules to break and what rules not to break from this home that I've built. And that's it. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks. All right, well, this is a house that I built. It's a spec house. I finished it about 2 years ago. It's still a little bit of a work in progress. I'm doing some landscaping on it currently. But this is a spec house. It's a spec Earthship. I tried to